Senator Colbeck.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. As many of you know, before I was a state senator, I was a practicing aerospace engineer with companies like Boeing and Lockheed. And right here in Michigan, I work for a company in my current district called AAR Cargo Systems. I began my tenure with AAR as their FAA certification engineer. This experience provides me with some unique insights into the FAA certification process. Subsequent to my tenure with AAR, I provided management support for the next generation FAA air traffic control system featuring the deployment of ADS-B technology. In spite of this significant experience, I do not profess to have all the answers pertaining to the issues surrounding regulation of aerospace. I do, however...
Can I have order and attention in the chamber, please? My apologies. Senator Colbeck, please continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I do, however, feel pretty confident that I know and understand the key questions that need to be asked on this topic. And the answers to these questions on the subject of UAV operations have been provided to me and my staff from key stakeholders over the past 2 years working on similar legislation. It is clear from the stakeholders' discussions that there are 3 major considerations pertinent to the regulation of aerospace. Number 1, public safety. That should be our first priority. Number 2, personal property rights. And number 3, commerce. Let's take that last consideration first, commerce. Both the sponsor of Senate Bill 992 and I share a passion for the expansion of commerce, specifically as it relates to the yet untapped markets applicable to the UAV market. Senate Bill 992 would address one of the key ingredients necessary for expanded commerce, clear definition of expectations. Senate Bill 992 also addresses key concerns regarding public safety. It specifically addresses operator requirements and itemizes specific activities that would be prohibited by law. Prior to the adoption, however, the amendment from the senator from the 38th District, there was, however, a very significant gap in Senate Bill 992 on the subject of personal property rights. My preference to fill this gap would be to pass Senate Bill 699. Senate Bill 699 provides significant protections for personal property rights of citizens. In the decision for U.S. versus Cosby, the court ruled that property owners had jurisdiction for the immediate reaches above the grounds of their property. I want to take advantage of this opinion and put it into law. That's in Senate Bill 699. The immediate reach ceiling was defined as 500 feet within Class G, otherwise known as unrestricted airspace. Senate Bill 699 lowers this ceiling to 300 feet to preclude interference with helicopter operations. Now, the important point to note in context of this legislation is that the industry advocates for Senate Bill 992 have told me that they do not want to be restricted in their flight operations. That means they don't want to be restricted to flying UAVs over public property such as roads. Despite having the technology to do otherwise, they want to be able to fly as the crow flies, directly over our homes. Without the provisions of Senate Bill 699, UAV operators would not be required to respect personal property rights in the immediate reaches airspace above private property. Without these provisions, our citizens would rightly express concerns about public safety and personal privacy. How are citizens to know whether or not a UAV that passes over their house is taking a picture or not? How do you think citizens will react when they see a UAV flying overhead at a high rate of speed? Do you think they might be concerned with their safety? As citizens become more and more vocal with these concerns, the expanded commercial use of UAVs sought by myself and the sponsors of Senate Bill 992 would actually be adversely impacted as a result of this outcry. In other words, without protection for personal property, Senate Bill 992 would effectively discourage the very commercial activities that the bill sponsor is seeking to promote. Now, my proposed amendment that I had ready would have mitigated this by tie-barring the bill to passage of Senate Bill 699. But the amendment that was offered just a moment ago by the good senator from the 38th District mitigates these concerns to a degree. In this light, I'm providing my cautious support of this legislation. My caution reflects the fact that the provisions that protect personal property rights do not take effect until a minimum of 6 months after the passage of this. we need to pass Senate Bill 699 to get immediate protection for those rights. So thank you very much. I'd like my remarks added to the Journal, please.
Thank you, Senator Colbeck. Without objection, the remarks will be printed in the Journal.